Yo, what's guys, but I'm Fire here, back from a video answer. We're going to be hopping into another Madden 23 defensive video. Today we're going to be going over yet another blitz. It's going to be a combination of the blitz and some coverage, and the formation and play I'm talking about specifically is going to be the nickel 2-4 double mug. This formation comes to us out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive playbook. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you guys drop a big thumbs up if you want more of this content. I drop it for free for you guys, no added bonuses, you don't have to pay for anything, so if you could, just drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It shows a lot of support and shows me that you want me to continue posting these videos. Let me know what you want to see down below. This is a formation that I know will get a lot of love in the recent future, especially after a certain formation will likely be patched. Now, the 2-4-5 double mug, it was known as the 2-4-5 double A gap or nickel double A gap straight up. New name, but yet the same good production. And a lot of you know it for the mid blitz, kind of the iconic play, but as of recently, the cover one hole last year is the more popular play. It's just easier to adjust out of, and it is the better play. Now, personnel wise, generally what the best thing to do out of this is to get some fast guys on the outside. You can actually put middle linebackers here, so you can get fast guys like Micah Parsons. I know he's an outside linebacker, but faster players, Roquan Smiths of the world, they could be very good. Now, we have Bosa and we have Mac. They're not the fastest, but they will suffice, I suppose, so they're going to be good. In this spot, you can get safeties, but we're actually, most of the time, these guys are rushing, so generally, there's not necessarily a reason to get a safety. And then you can get some good safeties right here because you will be using these guys, and they will also be in coverage, so you want some very good safeties here. You can actually put corners as well. So if you have a better fourth corner in coverage than a safety, you can do that. And I mean, yeah, other than that, let's just jump straight into it. As far as these coach adjustments go, we'll just leave everything really on default for now with auto flip on. And again, cover one hole is the play on the left. Let's jump straight into it. All right, boys, now it is a man coverage blitz, but it's going to be pretty effective. Now, what you're going to do, the first thing is spread your defensive line. That's going to be D-pad to the left and up on that left analog stick. The next thing that you're going to go ahead and do is press your defensive backs. Now, I'll explain the differences between pressing, shooting over the top, and not press, and not shooting over the top, because there are going to be differences, and it depends on who you're playing against and what his personnel entails. For now, we will just press and shade over the top. And then the last thing that you're going to do is go ahead and blitz all linebackers. So you're going to blitz all linebackers, and that's going to leave you with a clear decision on who you want to use or who you want to kind of defend. And it's going to be Swift. You notice that Swift does not have anybody to his name. There's nobody in man coverage scheduled to defend him. And this is for a number of reasons. There's situations where someone sees double A gap immediately. What's the take? It's going to be probably block the running back. And so if you have someone manned up on him, it's almost just a wasted guy. Now, he will try and beat it. You can use it, and then you'll also I'll show another adjustment that will kind of cancel it out. So you're going to rush 6 people. He's blocking 5, so immediately you should get easy pressure just based on the numbers game. And then what you want to do with your user is kind of stand here, hover in the gap. You don't have to be in like a hovered position where you, he's not going in it, but where he's kind of looking like Khalil Mack and Bosa, where he has that 1 foot forward, but just kind of stand here in the gap. When the ball is snapped, I want you to just hold the L2 for 1 second, the left trigger for 1 second. You're going to get this guy's attention, and then he can go away. So you rush 6 players, he blocks 5, and you get 2 people free, so that the math doesn't really work, and that's going to be caused by your hovering. Now, if you have an athletic safety, you can hover, and you can still get back. I mean, he can snap throw this, but the receiver's going to take time to catch the ball, and you're tackling him for a loss or no gain at the best. So you see the quick pressure, and again, it depends on how they work. Obviously, Jared Goff is slid a little bit to the left, so Khalil Mack's going to get there a little bit quicker. And again, these linebackers I mentioned, they're good pass rushers, but they're not necessarily the fastest guys, although good enough speed. So now take a look at what I'm doing with my user. It's going to be this player right here, Derwin James. That's my user. The ball is snapped. I hover for a second. What does this do? This is holding Frank Ragnow, the center's attention, and this is immediately taking a guy out of the play. So immediately you have one guy taken out of the play, which leaves our 6 rushers against actually 4 alignment, which is why you notice the math working that way and us getting 2 guys free. So those middle linebackers are going to immediately engage with the guards. leaving 4 against 2, and at that point you're either getting the DNs free if the tackles end up sliding all the way. Otherwise, usually the DNs will easily engage with the tackles, leaving your outside linebackers to get wide open for that pressure. So really good. And we'll go over all the blocking scenarios if they block the running back, certain things like that. But I'll show this blitz again. All you're going to do is press, spread your defensive line, blitz all linebackers, and that is all. You don't have to contain or do anything like that. Now, let's talk about shading over the top with your DBs, because you can shade over the top. There's certain situations. Now, let's say he has a burner. I'm not going to go into detail. Tyreek Hills of the world, players like that. Now, the odds are this early in the game, you should have a cornerback who can at least match up with some of the guys, but let's say he has 3 burners and you only have 2 faster corners. So let's say Chark is his burner. In this case, what you can actually do is either back up one of those corners, because you can only shade over the top everybody. You can't shade over the top certain guys. So you can either manually move him back by pressing Y, A, X, and then up on the left stick or right stick. So you can either do that, or what you can do is just shade over the top. Shading over the top is going to prevent you guys from getting burnt, but they're also not going to press, which means if you were to put this B wide receiver, Jamison Williams, on a slant, he would get instant separation because he's not pressed. So generally when I'm setting heavy pressure, I will just press normally and I will not shade over the top, because the press will immediately take like 2 seconds for those guys to get off the line, unless they have crazy Cooper Kupp 99 overall receiver type status. And in MUT, no one really has that. So immediately you're taking that much time, and then he has nowhere really to go with the ball. Now, the tight ends can't be pressed, which is why it's kind of important to keep an eye on them. And the running backs, they cannot be pressed. So you want to keep an eye on them, but you see, I mean, just very good coverage, everything bagged, and easy defense. Now, let's say hypothetically you know he's not blocking his running back. There's no threat of it. So you might as well man up someone on the running back, because we're getting 2 guys free, so we don't need to rush that many people. And the guy I'm going to man up is going to be Khalil Mack over here. We're just going to man him up on the running back. He's putting Swift on an out route every time, something like that. Who knows what he's doing, but something along the lines. You know he's not blocking him, so you might as well man him up and then be able to focus on the tight end or somebody who he's consistently throwing to. So you're going to just run the defense the exact same way. You're still going to hover over here, and you're still going to get Joey Bosa, in this case, open. Now, they might have a little bit more time to run the ball if he's on the left hash and he's sliding that way. It's just the way the offense sets up. If it was trips, you would be able to man up Joey Bosa on the running back, because he would be on the opposite side, if that makes any sense at all. But, I mean, really, the same thing happens. Again, Joey Bosa, he's not super fast. You see he kind of takes a bad angle, and it is a sizable drop. 10 yards off the ball from Goff, 11 yards from the line of scrimmage, so he does have to run a little bit just to get there. Most players don't drop back this much necessarily, but I mean, the coverage, it really bags decently well. We didn't get too good of a press. I'm not sure why. I guess he runs this route a little bit weird, how he's running behind the line of scrimmage. I didn't know he was even on that kind of a drag route. I guess he is, but both these guys are running kind of weird routes where they can't be pressed. I'll switch the play and you'll see some better results probably. But I mean, still pressure in his face, and you can also do different things with this. I'll show a bluff blitz where you actually switch to his own coverage a little bit later, but let's go back to that. And again, all I'm doing, same adjustments, but we're manning up Swift. Let's switch to a deep end play. It's going to be looking like this. Can I show the play art? I guess I just can't show the play art. There we go. So it's going to look like this. You'll probably see some better results as far as the pressing goes. And again, we'll throw... Holy, I'm lagging badly from the stupid play art. Jeez Louise, I'm lagging. This is on my end, not the video, so I'm just going to try and snap the ball. Otherwise, I'm going to call timeout. Stupid. Sorry about that. I'm just going to set up the same thing real quick. I'm not sure why that happened, but I guess something weird happened. Who knows? So we're set up the same thing, and we're just going to snap the ball. Joey Bosa is going to get free, and I wasn't really watching the press, but... the coverage should have been pretty good, and you guys all know how man coverage is, especially all Madden. This is all pro, so if you're playing all Madden seasons, you'll see similar stuff, but again, not necessarily the best press. You see the outside got a really good press. The slot corner did not get the best press. Let's see over here. So we get really good press. It really takes away a lot of the stuff. Nothing's open. You see the pressure's already in his face, so he has to throw it to the tight end. And there I would user it. I wasn't really caring too much with my user, but of course if I saw that, I would take away the tight end and nothing would be open and you would get easy pressure. Now, let's say he's catching on, he's throwing 20 man beaters on the field, and he's eventually getting you, because eventually if you face man coverage 20 times in a row, I hope you'd be able to beat it at some point. Let's say that that situation is happening currently. So we can actually create a couple of different plays. Now, looking at this defense, you want to stay in the cover 1. You don't want to audible to cover 3, because then you see all these shifting. You do not want that to be happening. You want it to look the same, but switch up the coverage. So what are you going to do? You're going to kind of switch to a cover 3, I think would be the best way to do it. And you're going to put all these guys in outside thirds, B, X in an outside third, and then you're going to put L1 here in an inside third. Now, you have a basic defense. Now, what you're going to do next is going to be pretty simple. What I would do is still blitz all linebackers, and then you have a slot corner who's manned up. You can put him in a curl flat, and then you can put Khalil Mack in a curl flat. Now, you still have the same people blitzing. You just switch it to his zone coverage, and all of a sudden he has man beaters, and he's like, oh shoot, it could throw him off for a second. Now there might be people open, but he just might not be expecting it. And of course, be smart about it. It depends on the coverage, what formation he's running. But hypothetically, the blitz still gets through, and you just confuse him with zone coverage. You can bait him into throwing a flat into the curl flat zone, picking him off. You can throw a hard flat out there and confuse him, but it's going to be the same look, and that's a way to switch coverage. That's a very advanced adjustment. I don't expect a lot of beginner players to be too familiar with, being able to do that, but it can pay off if you're a more advanced player switching to a cover 3. That's really the extent of the coverages I would go to. Switching to a cover 2 is impossible from the look. So cover 3 is going to be likely your best bet. Now let's just show it against a couple of different formations just so you guys can understand. So let's switch to a man coverage. All 3 corners are going to shift over. That's normal. It's going to probably give you a better press. But what you're going to do here is, hypothetically, we have to man up. If we wanted to man up the running back, what we could do is just man up Joey Bosa now on Swift. There we go. So now they're both manned up. And now I believe Khalil Mack should be the guy getting free, which he is. And you notice how that's way, way faster than Joey Bosa was. So I don't know if Khalil Mack's that much faster, but maybe Jared Goff just drops back to the left. I see we're slightly to the left from the middle of the field, but it shouldn't be that huge of a difference. But you see just very quick pressure, and that's how it can pay off when you get a really fast guy. Let's go to bunch tight end. I know some people are fans of the bunch tight end formation. That would be the same situation. Now, I don't necessarily love the spacing here because Khalil Mack and the slot corner, I think that's J.C. Jackson, are in the same exact area. I'm not the biggest fan of that personally, but I think the blitz should still work. And let's just send everybody now. And again, if you're sending everybody, you're expecting either the running back to block. Let's block the running back and send everybody now. Or you just use the running back. So we block everybody in there. You see the pressure still loops around. Pretty simple. We didn't do the best job of holding the center's attention there, and the blitz still came through. So that really just shows the total firepower that you have with this. And if you just want to go with a complete man coverage bluff, what you can actually do is just throw Khalil Mack on a little curl flat. You could throw Bosa on a curl flat. You can go with a simple, almost 2-man rush here if you would like. I would probably just block Blitz A or someone to get at least 3 people going, because I never like to send 2. So you could Blitz 3 here. There's probably ways to get 4 people, but I mean, the coverage is really good. And blitzing 4, holy crap, Joey Bosa just laid out. Joey Bosa is laying out people in the run blocking game. But I mean, yeah, 4-man rush, 3-man rush, we know it's all good this year. So you get a couple of guys going and you'll still get pressure, and you will, again, just switch it up a little bit. Don't run the same setup every single time. Confuse them. Throw out that cover 3 every once in a while if you can. And, just confuse them in that way. But overall, the same concept is the same. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video down below, what you want to see next. Again, drop a like, subscribe to the channel down below. Follow all links in the description as well. And peace. I'm out of here.